How's it going, everyone? It is the investing guy here, and today I have a video for you guys on my 3 biggest mistakes that I did in my early 20s. And if I could go back, these would be 3 things that I would definitely change in my early 20s. Guys, make sure that you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. I try to upload 3 to 4 videos a week that have to do anything with investing, giving you guys new ideas on investing. We talk about crypto, the stock market, credit cards, whatever it is, we cover it. All right, guys, if you haven't yet subscribed, make sure that you subscribe because I am doing a giveaway on this 99.9% silver Bitcoin. So if you haven't yet subscribed, make sure that you subscribe so that you have a chance of winning it. Let's go ahead and get started right with this video. All right, so let's get started right away with my first mistake. And as you guys can see here, this was my first car. Now, let me tell you guys a quick story. I worked at a amusement park all throughout high school. And right when I turned 18, I went ahead and I bought this Mustang, convertible Mustang, for about $4,500. It was around there, right? And one day I let my sister borrow it and she completely crashed my car. Well, my $4,000 turned to $1,200. The junkyard gave me $400 for this car, and then my sister gave me $800 that she had. So my $4,500 that I had worked so hard for turned to about $1,200. Luckily, I had saved some money and my parents did help me out a little. They gave me about $1,000 and I went out, and this is me here. Don't worry, guys. I'm not a gangster. I promise you. They helped me out and I went ahead and I bought my second Mustang. I had an obsession with Mustangs, and I bought this one for about $6,500. A lot of money coming out of my pocket if you're doing the math there. The $4,000 on the first one, and then about $5,000 for this one that I put out of my pocket. That's already about $9,000 within a matter of, this was maybe about a year and a half. And about 2 years later, I didn't want this Mustang here. I didn't like it. This was an emergency Mustang for me. In my head, it was like, this is an emergency Mustang. This is not the Mustang that I wanted. The one that I really liked was this white convertible. So I went out and I bought another Mustang. I bought myself this Mustang here. And this one here did cost me about $11,000. So if you're starting to do the math, out of my own pocket, I have already wasted around $22,000 on cars. Now, in terms of profit for these cars, when I sold this one, when I got rid of this, I sold it to a family member. So I'm not going to make money off of them, right? I think I gave them like a really good deal. I think I got like $2,000 out of this. And this one here I bought for around $11,000. And then fast forward 2 years and I sold this to my nephew. Again, for some reason, I'm always selling cars to family and I'm giving them really good deals. I sold this for about $4,000 to my nephew. So yeah, I'm not making money out of these cars, you know, and if I were to sell this to someone else, I probably would have gotten around $8,000. So the value of my car was always decreasing, right? So spending a lot of money on cars. And then finally, when I became a teacher and I didn't want to drive this anymore. So I said, you know, it's time to get a grown-up car. And I bought myself this car here. You can tell that it was brand new out of the lot. And this one cost me $29,000 out of the lot. So already there, you can see that I have spent about $50,000 on cars. And these were all paid off for, right? I paid this one cash. I paid this one cash. I paid this one cash. All of these were cash. Except this one here. This one was, I got a loan for this one. Thankfully, my credit was really good, so I didn't pay that much in interest. But I still paid, I think it was about $1,500 in interest. Pretty much out of pocket, I spent about $50,000 in cars, which is a tremendous amount of money. That money there I could have spent on other things, say a house down payment or whatnot. Even the $30,000 for this car here, I could have spent on a house down payment, because truthfully speaking, this car here had nothing wrong. I could have kept this car even till now and I would have been perfectly fine. Okay, my nephew that I sold this car to, he still rides it, and sometimes I look at it and I'm like, wow, I should have kept that car, you know. But I love this car here. Was it a mistake? Was it a financial mistake? Yes. Did it make my life a little bit better? I have to say yes too. So did I have to buy a $30,000 car? No. I could have bought a $10,000 car. I could have bought a $7,000, $8,000 car that would have made me just as happy. My dad is not the best with finances, you know, and I don't blame him. He never had anyone to teach him anything like that. So he said, you know, go buy a car so you could build your credit so you can then buy a house. And that was a complete lie. I had great credit when I bought this car, and I completely paid it off. I never missed a payment, and my credit only went up about 10 points ever since. So once you have really good credit, it's just very difficult to get it up even higher. Right now I'm in excellent credit, but when I bought this car, I was at good credit. It didn't make a huge difference. I honestly think I would have gotten into excellent credit without this loan. Okay, my second mistake has to be the amount of money that I spent on clothes. In my early 20s, guys, I spent so much money on clothes. It is ridiculous. I would have to say that it was, if I were to add up all the clothes all the money that I spent on clothes, I probably spent somewhere around $15,000 to $20,000 on clothes. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's the truth. I can think of weddings that I went to that I bought a suit that cost me around $300, $400, and I only wore it once. And this has happened multiple times. You know, I bought a suit for a certain situation 4 or 5 times, and I still have them in my closet, and I've only worn them once. So if you think about $400 every suit, right there, that's already about $2,000 spent on that, plus shoes and whatnot. It really adds up, and I think I have spent about $20,000 on clothes, and honestly, it all got donated or given away to a nephew or someone who wanted this clothes. My body changed a lot throughout the time. You know, I used to be overweight. I lost a lot of weight, and now I gained a lot of muscle and and a lot of weight. And so the clothes that once used to fit me now doesn't fit me. So it's just, as you grow up, your body also changes. So take that into consideration. Don't spend so much money on clothes, because if your body changes, it's not going to fit you, and there goes money flushed down the toilet. You know, so just make sure that you just, in terms of clothes, just buy necessities. And honestly, now what I wear is a plain black tee. I just wear plain black tees or white tees or gray tees that I buy from Walmart, and they cost me about $3, $4. And I love them. Honestly, that's what I like to wear. I love the way that they look. They look quite fashionable. And, you know, if I add some nice pants or whatever and some cool shoes, and it's all budget clothes that I wear. I don't wear any expensive clothes anymore like I once used to, because I realized that I like the simple stuff, and it looks good. I like the way it looks, you know? So yeah. I also spent money on a bunch of random stuff. And if I were to go on to my Amazon from a few years ago, you would be able to see. I would spend a lot of my paycheck. I'm really into working out, and when I was younger, I would spend so much money on supplements. I would get my paycheck and I would say, all right, let's buy some of the supplements of the month. If you're into working out, guys, supplements don't make a difference. I mean, they help out a little, but it's not going to make or break your fitness lifestyle. Okay, I stopped taking supplements. Now all I take is maybe protein once in a while. Whenever I feel like I want a quick snack, I'll have a protein shake or whatever. But I don't take any creatine, any pre-workouts, any of this stuff anymore. It's you don't really need it. You know, it's stuff that you don't really need, and it's very costly stuff. Here, as if you're not into working out, you know that this stack here could cost you about $400. So what you're looking at here was about $400, and this was every $400 every 2 months spent on supplements. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about, my last and third mistake, was not investing. I was scared of investing into stocks, and now if you look at my Robinhood account, I did have a Robinhood since 2015, I believe. But you know, I had shares of Tesla and whatnot, and let's say I remember one time I bought Tesla at $50, and then when it reached 55, I was like, I gotta sell, I gotta cash in my $5. And doing the math, those $50, if I would have just held, would have been worth thousands of dollars now. I was just scared. I didn't realize that I was just scared of losing my money when I was spending my money on dumber things. You know, I was spending my money on things that literally cost nearly $0 after I purchased it. But then I was scared to purchase assets that can grow in value throughout time. So that's one thing that really changed my perspective. Was a few years ago, maybe about a year ago actually, when I really got into investing, was that, hey, I'm spending money on all this dumb stuff. Why don't I just spend that money that I'm throwing away and I start investing it? And that's when my whole mentality changed. Okay. Same thing with Bitcoin. I remember around 2016, a friend of mine told me about Bitcoin, and I pretty much told him, you know, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of and whatnot. And I was skeptical, and the price of Bitcoin at that time was around $300. So I had a chance of purchasing 1 or 2 Bitcoins for a very low price, and I let that go. If I would have just purchased one, that would have been something that could have completely changed my life today, and I would have been in a completely different position in life. But you know, you can't go back and change the past, but you can change your future, and you can make better choices for the future. And that's what I'm doing here on this channel. And if you made it to the end of this video, guys, I want to thank you so much for sticking around and watching this video. You know, I talked about the mistakes that I did in the past, and if you're young and you see yourself making some of these mistakes, well, it's still time for you to change. You know, I am now 28, and I think I didn't change my lifestyle until I was 27, so a little quite late down the road. So if you're still in your early 20s, then you have time. You know, you have time to change. Time is on your side. And if you're in your late teens, then even better. You know, you are in the prime position to make some great choices for your future. Like I said, I only have the future to change. So that's what I'm doing in this channel. And I am trying to document that through the stock market, through my crypto holdings and whatnot. So if you guys are into that stuff, make sure that you subscribe and you like this video. Thank you so much for sticking around, guys, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.